It is a known fact that a huge percentage of startups fail worldwide. We've seen this happen in Silicon Valley, in Europe. Worldwide, we've seen it happen. But how does that translate into the context of Malawi? Let's talk about it. Just to prefix the reasons and the solutions that I have for this video, I wanted to first of all briefly just explain why I'm making this video. This video is from a personal point of view, and it's a lot of things that have happened to me as I've been building startups or creating products from a long time ago. I remember the first ever product that I built was back in 2012, if not 13. Yes, somewhere around 2012 and 2013. It was called Kwatu. And from then, I went on to build something called Easy Malawi with my best friend, Blessings. And at the time, we wanted to be an e-commerce platform. And fun fact is that we managed to convince a shop called Chipiku, which is like a grocery store, to join our shop, and also AM Furnitures at the time. But we couldn't actually go further with it because there was like a lot of trust issues that were happening between us and the shops. So it kind of died, and it just died just like that. So the reasons I'm going to be telling you afterwards are going to be from a personal perspective, and they may not be, in relation to you or some other people. It's totally fine. So after saying that, let's get right into the main reasons why I feel like startups fail in the country. Let's go. It is 2015, and me and my friend are building this technologically customized learning systems platform. It's an edutech company which is tailored to save content for high school learners, as well as prepare them for classes like IGCSE and MSCE, which is like Malawi School Certification of Education. And as we were building this, we were building it out of passion, right? We are so energetic, we're young, and I think I was like 20 at the time, so energetic, and we were trying to build this product so that people can use it. And we finished building this product, and the next thing we do is we also build a student management information system, which is going to cater for both the schools as well as the students. So we have a platform for students, we have a desktop application for schools. We finished building this, and we even entered a challenge for Facebook, with the Facebook challenge, which was the internet.org challenge. We never get to win it, but we were like 7th in the whole of Africa. It was really interesting. But why am I bringing this story? As we were building this thing, we were funding this product ourselves out of pocket. And it became very difficult as time went by because we couldn't sell the product. We went to schools like Bambino, we went to schools like Lilongwe Private Academy, we went to Bishop Mackenzie to sell this specific product and help them integrate it into their system, because they never had that kind of system. But we couldn't sell it. And that became a problem because afterwards we realized that we didn't have any money, and we were just working to build this product. So as time went by, we decided to start looking for other ways to make money. And this is where now we created a division from the company called Checklist Solutions. And all we were doing is to make money by creating websites, mobile apps. And it was just me and my friend, like the two of us. He was leading the business side, I was working on the technical side. So every product that we built, I was building it, and he was able to go and sell it. But we couldn't sell those products. Why am I bringing this? I'm saying this for the second time, but it is because Malawian startups don't have access to funding. You can't go to a bank to get loans. You can't go anywhere else to get like a loan that is going to help you build your product. And this story that I'm telling you is a story of so many of my friends that I know. I've built products with them. I remember there was a guy who built an Uber kind of thing back in 2015. We pitched together at MHub at the time. There was a guy who built a mobile game. There was a guy who built like an e-commerce shop. All those products never came to see the light of day. Why? Well, because they didn't have money. They didn't have money to help them to, to grow or to build. And you should know that most of the people that are building these products, they're building them out of passion. And when you're building something out of passion, you want to see to the very end. But at the end of the day, you realize that you can't sustain the product, and then you just, end up getting a job, which is not a bad thing to do. You end up getting a job, but then when you do that, you risk the time of building your products, because you have to dedicate 40 hours a week to your work, to your job, and then you can't build a product anymore. So one of the first reasons why I feel like Malawian startups fail is because of lack of funding. We don't have funding in the country, and it's very difficult. There's no VCs. The only way you can get money is maybe you compete in a challenge and you end up getting like $2,000 or $5,000, which is not even enough to build a product. So that's the first one. Let's talk about the second one, shall we? Now, the second reason why I feel like Malawian startups fail is because of lack of technical expertise. And I know that this is very subjective, but hear me out here. After being exposed to a lot of people that have built products for big organizations, and when I look back now, I feel like at the time we didn't have product that I would say a good product in terms of technicalities. We had a product that was solving the needs for the people, the needs for student management, the needs for helping students to get prepared for education. We had all this, but if you look at the technology, it couldn't scale, it couldn't grow, it couldn't become, this vast unicorn of a program. And there's certainly a lack of expertise in some specific areas, because at the end of the day, it's just maybe you and a bunch of friends. But when you are, building this such a product, let's say you're in Silicon Valley or in another country, like first world countries, you find that people, they get access to funding early, so they bring in people who have the technical expertise, which can help them to build things and complement the skills that some of the people are lacking in the company. And this is one of the reasons as well I feel like Malawian startups, don't really make it to the end of the day, because the product sometimes is not as good. I'm not saying all of the products. I'm not saying 100% of all the people that are building startups are not good enough. I'm just saying there's some aspect of it which is not really good, or the product is not great on the technical side of things. You give someone else a product, oh, please try this product, and then you go there, you find that the user experience is really bad. It's a whole thing, right? The user experience is not bad. It's not good. You try to log in, maybe it's not working. You try to sign up, it's not signing. It's not able to work to do that. And then you have to message the founder oh, this thing is not working. Oh, let me fix that, right? And if you're trying to sell such a product, it becomes very difficult, because then how are you going to sell, something that is not working? I'm not going to be able to pay for something that is not working. If I'm a founder like I am, I will understand you, because I know what it takes to build something, right? But then if you're looking at a business person who wants to use your product, whether it's a SaaS product or whatever it is, I'm not going to pay if I come to your page and I see, or I come to your app and I see that it's not able to let me log in, right? Or the user experience is totally bad. For example, quite recently, I signed up on one of the products and it went down for a couple of days. And then afterwards, I messaged the founder and we talked about it. But you know what happened? And when he said, oh, the product is back online, I tried to go back and try to log in. It couldn't let me log in. Right? And I said, oh, I'm not able to log in. It's like, oh, you have to sign up again, because why? The data that they had initially was lost, and that is bad experience, So since some things like that, technical expertise, I'm not saying that they're not good people who can do it, but I just feel like there's a sense of lack of that, just a tiny bit that we need to work on. The third one is going to be the lack of support. I know that this is worth its own separate video, and I'm going to make it, but in this one I'm just going to give you the small highlights. The lack of support. If you've ever built a business or any startup, you understand the moral or the emotional stress that you go through. And it is a good thing to sympathize with people who are building products, because sometimes you don't understand, and sometimes you may not be a founder who understands what it takes to build something like that. And why I'm saying this is, oftentimes when I've built something, people have always compared it with a product that they have seen, a mature product that they have seen, in a first world country. And this is a very big problem. And this lack of support is like multifaceted, right? There's a part of it which comes from the body, which is like, the government or regulators. And then there's a part of it which is the people that are trying to build the product for. I know that sometimes your product sucks and it just needs to be, polished here and there so that it can be more appealing. But at the end of the day, you see that you build this product and it's an initial version. And what other countries, what they do is they help you polish the product, nurture it, and help you get better with it. They understand what it takes to build a startup. But in Malawi, there is lack of support. And lack of support can be so many things: funding, emotional support, incubation, all of these things. But what I'm about to tell you today, right now, is that lack of support for me is like mainly in two areas. As I said, from the people that you're trying to build a product for, and from the people that can help you get the product somewhere else. We do not have like startup challenges. We do not have like full-blown incubation programs, because sometimes you have a great idea, you're trying to build it, but then you don't understand how it can sell on the market. You are just a developer, you are just an engineer, right? So you need people who can come in and help you, but you find that those people are not there, right? So there's lack of support. I mean, as I said, I'm gonna make a video about this, and in the video I'm gonna talk about regulations, like a gate. There's a gatekeeping barrier that is there to, that bars a lot of people even to get started in terms of like fintech and all these other, tech disciplines. We're gonna talk about that more, but for now, just understand that there's lack of support in the country. And this is a very big problem, because people need emotional support. They need to be given a chance to experiment and grow with their products. You don't have to compare a product that I am building right now with a product that has been built in the United States of America for the last 15 years. Context matters. And we had this talk about the same talk with Takuya. I'm gonna link his blog down below on our Tech Malawi Discord server. But yeah, just know that lack of support. What can we do about it? Well, there's a lot. And the reason why I made this video is because of primarily one thing. And the thing is, Malawian tech startups, they need your funding. And I'm very strategic about it because I know that people on LinkedIn are going to see this. And most of my LinkedIn is comprised of two people, either recruiters or investors. And I know that a lot of you guys are going to see this video. So this is directly to you. Malawian startups, they need your funding. As much as we've talked about all these problems that I just talked about, but if you look at this, at the center of it, you find that a lot of the problems that these people are facing, or we are facing as Malawian, tech entrepreneurs, is that we don't have access to money. We don't have access to funding. And it would be so nice if you could become one of the first people or one of the first VCs who is going to dedicate, let's say, $1 million to say, we're going to get $1 million to Malawian startups, and we're going to help them and give them access to capital. We're going to help them build their products. And then that could help them, dominate or like grow and expand outside of Malawi. Because let's face it, we have brilliant people. As I've said before, we have brilliant people who are really good at developing. They are good people who can build amazing products, but they do not have the support. They do not have the money to get their products to the next level. And this is why I made this video. I'm coming to you people, I'm coming to you VCs, I'm coming to you angel investors. We need your funding. we need your capital to build Malawi, to build the next generation of tech startups in Malawi, and we need that. You don't just have to look at other countries in Africa that are already doing great. There's like Nigeria, there's Kenya, there's Rwanda. Yes, it's good. We are both Africans and we wish them all the very best. But there's someone else who initially started going to Nigeria to invest. There's someone else who went to Kenya. And then right now you know all about these countries. Wouldn't it be so nice if you as the first investor, or not first maybe, but at least one of the very first people or first investors who can come to Malawi and say, we are going to go to Malawi and we're going to invest in healthcare, we're going to invest in edutech, we're going to invest in e-commerce, we're going to invest in transportation, startups. And we're not just going to leave it there because, as I said, there's people who are lacking moral support, emotional support, they're lacking funding, they're lacking all of these things. And the first thing that you can do if you want to come to Malawi and invest, you have to come in with money or the capital. That's the first thing. But don't just give us money. We also need the training. We need to be incubated. If you can start a program that is like maybe 12 weeks, that's like how Techstars does it or how YC does it, where you bring in people, they apply to your they apply to your program, basically like a class, right? They apply to your class, they get selected, and they come in and you say, we're going to incubate you. We're going to give you like maybe 50,000 US dollars, which is a lot of money for Malawi to build something. We're going to give you 50,000 US dollars. And then from then, you're going to come into our program. We're going to incubate you. We're going to train you. We're going to give you all the necessary skills that you're going to do. You're going to need. We're going to help you define your product market fit. We're going to help you with all these skills that you need to take to the real world when the product comes out. I think I'd be so glad. I'll be very happy to see that happen. And I know that you guys are watching this because I track the metrics. I know that you guys are watching this. Please, 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 I'm begging you, come to Malawi, come and invest in Malawi. Malawian startups need you, and they have been lacking funding for a long time. And it would be so nice if you guys can come and invest in Malawi. It doesn't have to be $1 million. I think you can even start with like 200,000 US dollars, which is a lot of money. And I know that US startups, when they're raising like seed, they usually get maybe more than that. In Malawi, because the access to capital is a challenge and labor costs are not as higher, I think it would be great if you can come in and help us. And lastly, I don't want you to say, we just want your funding. As I said, we also want access to training. You come in, you give people the training, you tell them the expertise that you have, you bring in technical founders as well that you've known, and you bring them in and you help them. You teach us how we can build products. You teach us how we can take the product to the market, product market fit, the business side of things, the marketing, all of these things. It would be so nice. So this is my message to you, investors. One more time, please come to Malawi. Come and invest in Malawi. Malawian startups need you. Thank you very much. I hope this message is very clear. Anyway, that was my closing remark, and I'm so glad that you guys are here and you're watching. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of things that I want to talk about in the next coming videos, and I hope to see you there. And please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. Bye.